stuff like what happened recently, that it's either going to get off-screened or it's going to get cut down. No, I'm not happy. I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, the Yonko saga literally should be the best freaking part of the story. It should be. I mean, well, maybe the part dealing with the Gorosei, but the Yonko and saga, including Blackbeard himself, obviously, that should, for all intents and purposes, be the best part of this story. But
yeah. I mean, we can say for a fact that Whitebeard is definitely the most badass of the Yonko. Because they were stating this chapter, which I think was really bad to do for Kaido. Even if he got hurt, they said Kaido's screaming. I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah, and he even looked a little bit terrified when he saw freaking Kinemon and all that. I'm like, really, dude?
Like, even if he's getting hurt, he still shouldn't be screaming. Like, imagine the anime, he's screaming like a little girl. That would be the most worst thing.
He'll probably have Pika's voice. He'll sound just like Pika when he laughs.
It's Kinemon. No.
Yo, relax. That's my top one, please.
Who?
Kaido.
Top one what?
Top one strongest.
Top one frauds, apparently.
Yeah, for the longest time, he was my top one too until this chapter. I'm like,
top one fraud.
What the hell, Oda?
It was true.
Like honestly, Oda, you should just let somebody else write it for you at this point.
People, this proves a point though. People were saying that Oda's not gonna do this to Kaido like he did Big Mom, but
oh god, we were wrong.
Yeah. I really thought I thought Kaido was gonna like, and he put so much swag on Kaido. He cut off Orochi's head. He was saying, "Join me or die." Oh my god.
I'm honestly at the point now where I'm expecting Oda to kill Shanks by having Blackbeard poison his rum, and then he just dies off screen.
You saying Blackbeard's gonna be at Shanks' party?
Yeah, and he's gonna poison.
Choking and Blackbeard's laughing.
Yeah, and he's poisoned his drink.
Oh my god.
Like at this point, I would not be freaking surprised. Like,
dude, that would be it.
I mean, like I'm really at the point.
Too dirty.
Like I'm really at the point now where I'm like, can we just end Wano already? Can we just even if it's nonsense, just throw in a bunch of new characters, have them kill some of the scabbards, and let's just get right to the fights then, if this is what Oda's gonna do. If he's just gonna dick around like this. Like,
why would you hype up Emma if it's not even gonna be the first thing that cuts him?
Oh yeah, I gotta pick.
Yeah, that makes no damn sense either.
You hype up Luffy learning Rio, you hype up Zoro with Emma. Those aren't the first things that hurt him.
Yeah, it's the stupid-ass side character scabbards. Like, okay, yeah, Wano is their home. Guess what? Doflamingo was technically Law's enemy, but who beat him? Luffy. Now you're not going to do that anymore? Like, I mean, at this point,
yeah.
Who knows? Luffy might not get the final freaking shot on Kaido. It might actually be freaking Kinemon.
Bro, that would be so ridiculous.
That would be so trash.
Like, and obviously other people are not going to be as angry as I am because I never liked Kinemon. Even from the first time we saw him, I didn't like him.
I thought the fire thing was pretty cool.
It was, but he's just.
I don't think he should be hurting Kaido now. I don't. Yeah.
No, the most he should be doing is clipping his nails with his freaking sword. Like,
the only thing I could say is maybe when the Viz comes out tomorrow, Kaido will be like, "Oh, I'm sober now," type shit.
Yeah, like
That's
he was
the only
drunk.
thing I can see save it.
Yeah, so instead of having hunger pangs when he's drunk, he's weakened a little bit.
Yeah.
I posted a pic, which I was talking about Emu in the One Piece VC talk.
All right, let me look. Alrighty. Oh, you said a video?
No, I posted a pic in the One Piece VC talk about the Emu thing.
Oh man, man, oh man, oh man. I mean, like, I guess to some degree. Well, no, I can't even say that. I was gonna say to some degree, maybe I can not feel better, but you kind of take solace in the fact that I never considered One Piece to be my favorite series, but there was a point where I thought I could at least consider it to be top 5. Now I have no damn clue. I mean,
Yeah, man. I mean, if I disregard post time skip, One Piece is probably my second and third favorite anime that I've watched.
if I was to disregard post time skip, One Piece would probably be like way lower.
I mean, I don't even. One Piece is not in my top 5. That'll probably be Hunter x Hunter, Mob Psycho. What else? Yu Yu Hakusho. You know. Well, that's my top 3 right now. Vinland Saga is pretty good.
I haven't seen enough series to really have a top 5.
Yeah, me neither.
But I'd say Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely number 1. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is definitely number 2. Rurouni Kenshin is definitely number 3.
I gotta rewatch Rurouni.
Like, say what you will, and this is for people in general. Say what you will about the creator of Rurouni Kenshin, but I can still separate the story and the creation from the person that created it.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what you gotta do. Like, you gotta go the R. Kelly route, but
Yeah.
God damn, guy.
I mean, I would still say though, regardless, I'll always prefer One Piece over Naruto. Always.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the ending of Naruto?
oh brother,
Bro, I refuse to do anything with Naruto ever again.
No, that's why I said One Piece will always be over Naruto for me.
bro, the way they did the eyes, man, the eyes were so ridiculous.
Did I accidentally say the reverse of that? That Naruto would always be over One Piece? I meant to say One Piece will always be over Naruto for me. As better. Like, just preferred. Hello?
I heard you.
We got you.
Okay. Like,
He wanted to make sure we heard that.
I just freaking hated the way that Naruto ended. I mean, obviously nowhere near as garbage as Bleach, but I never really watched.
Bleach ending better.
I never really watched Bleach for the story. I really just watched it for some entertainment, cool fights, and some characters I really loved, but I never really watched it for the whole package, if you will. For me, it was just pretty much, this is an awesome power system. These characters are really cool looking design wise. I love this 1 or 2, maybe 3 characters, and that's it. For Naruto, it was like, well, I was more engrossed in the narrative and whatnot than just seeing fights. But
that shit is bad.
My God, did it fall apart. I mean,
I remember in high school, and I was just like, why is this still going? Please just end.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'll say this. If Oda can at least turn things around, and make the last 2 to 3 arcs, no matter, depending on how many more left there are, and make those great, I'll forgive a lot of the shortcomings. Like, if the final arc ends up being great, like far better than the Naruto the Fourth Great Ninja War arc, I will give him a huge round of applause for that.
Yeah.
And he could turn things around potentially. It's not impossible.
I hope you do.
I mean, I'm gonna hope that he turns things around, because that'll be mad depressing. Because
Honestly, it kind of didn't even make it. Isn't Doom? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this Dane that they said is allowing them to cut Kaido called Rio?
Yeah.
Okay,
Odin's
so
Rio or some shit.
okay, so see, here's the problem with that. Why introduce this new concept? Why not just be a little bit more forgivable? Is if it was something where it's like King's Hockey, something that is already not completely expanded on already.
Now, this Rio, it's supposed to be the same shit Katakuri did. Just it's still armor and hockey, just outside the body.
Because we still
I
have
don't know,
full expansion on King's Hockey, right? Like still.
I don't know though,
There's
because
armament so far.
Because Rio seems to not just be. Rio seems to be more like a blast, not necessarily what. I mean, I'm not saying that Katakuri can't necessarily.
I mean, you could also use it as a shield. The 3 admirals used it as a shield against Whitebeard.
Exactly. I'm not going to say that Katakuri doesn't have it. It's just. I mean, if Oda decided to come out and say that was Rio, I'd be like, really? Because that didn't look that much different from regular armaments. But
saying, my hands hurt even more now. What the hell?
I mean, hey,
that's the only thing I got.
I mean, hey, if Oda wants to say that Rio is you can also transfer it to your Devil Fruit abilities, well, then wouldn't that mean that Doflamingo had it too? Because he could transfer it to his strings.
I don't even know if it's that, because based on that, Zoro always had Rio then. Like, all swordsmen always had it.
Yeah, that's where people are. That's the Zoro the Zoro Kill Kaido Club has been running. They've been talking now. Matt B is joining, bro. Movie Mouth, Matt B. He's joining.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, come on, bro. Don't do this.
What did you say?
Matt B, he joined the ZKK club.
Are you kidding me?
Because of Rio, because of what happened with Kinemon and the Scabbers in the chat. And it sucks.
I don't know why they're acting like this.
It sucks because of what Oda has done. He has put it into possible existence, and it shouldn't be, because if Zoro kills Kaido while his captain got one shot by Kaido, that would be the most stupidest thing, bro.
That's.
But he's put into existence, so it's almost like I don't want to say it. I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it. But I didn't expect none of the Scabbers to even be able to even like. I thought like if they try to stab Kyle, that they blades will like break or something like.
That's how it should have been.
So the very fact that they can't hurt him, he has put. That's why the Zoro Kill Kyle Club has been like, I told y'all. Like, there's no doubt that he's gonna do it now. That's what they're saying. So.
They should know by now. Oda does not kill people. Why are they acting like this?
Well, at least at the very least, they're gonna be like, well, we told you he's gonna at least stab Kaido.
I mean, we say that doesn't kill people, but unfortunately, he's probably gonna kill Shanks, which is the one time he shouldn't kill somebody.
We'll see, because I doubt anyone more is gonna die.
The only person I think should die is Blackbeard.
Even then, I'm just like, he says some shit where Luffy doesn't kill people type shit.
Oh, I don't.
He just crushed their dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mean by Luffy's. I don't mean die by Luffy's hand. I mean die by somebody else's.
I mean, Zoro has killed people before.
I'm suggesting.
Yeah, like Daz's bones was dead until he retconned it.
I'm suggesting Luffy beats Blackbeard, and Zoro kills him for Luffy. Like Luffy just can't do it, and Zoro is basically like, I'll do what my captain can't.
That would just give the Zoro fanboys more hype, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but killing a defeated dude, that's not.
You know they would hype it up.
They would hype it up to extremes, like Zoro level.
Yo, Luffy had Zoro do it because he couldn't do it himself. Yo.
I mean, by that logic, that would basically mean that Zoro simply cutting some bread would make him Yonko level.
I mean, some people might do, though.
Oh my god.
It's really ridiculous, man. It's because it's like, you can't even say is like the Zoro kill Kyle niggas is reign supreme because of bad writing. It's not cause they're smart for having this theory. It's just literally because of plot induced. Yes.
I thought you were gonna say plot induced stupidity.
I almost said it, but it's not plot induced stupidity because it's not even being stupid. It's just plot hacks.
Oh man, and it upsets me because I had always believed for a long time that Oda was superior to all of the big three. Right? Well, I mean, he was one of the big three creators.
At the end of the day, though, remember we do have to see the full picture.
Yeah. Like maybe all of this will make sense and work out, towards the end.
I mean, no, too, though, Kat. You do have a certain day where you just don't like the scabbards, so I think it's kind of one of the days where.
See, it's
so yeah.
You're not wrong, but for me, like if Kinemon wasn't there at all, and it was just Ashura, Denjiro, and the two Dukes stabbing Kaido, and they managed to do it. Okay, that I can accept. But all of them, and Kinemon's sword gets through?
Yeah.
Nah, that's... Unless the explanation is they blasted all their haki out at the same time, and it was the force of all of their combined haki that did that. Alright, that I can accept. That makes sense. But...
Kaido being drunk.
Okay, yeah, that I can accept. That I can definitely accept. Like, I'm not trying to say that the scabbards are weak to the point where they couldn't even take down somebody like Peckham's, but they definitely should not be, with maybe the exception of, well, no exceptions. They definitely should not be, on the level of an admiral, which is what you'd at least need to be capable of significantly injuring Kaido, unless you believe that the admirals are equal to the Yonko, which that's a different discussion.
I think some people are claiming that it is possible that it's the case now. This chapter has really just opened up a lot of.
I've been open to the possibility of that. But I definitely believe that in his prime, Whitebeard was stronger than the rest of the Yonko. In his prime, like maybe not by a ridiculous amount, but by at least a decent amount.
I would say Yonko versus Admiral. A single Yonko will always beat a single Admiral. Two Admirals, nah. That's my case.
Yeah, and I'd say just maybe I'm wrong, but the way it's been presented is that Whitebeard was always above the rest of the four. Maybe not so much in his old age, but like I'd even go so far as to say that I think Whitebeard could beat an admiral like in his prime, you know, not ill and all that stuff, mid-diff, obviously taking injuries, but then take on another admiral, injure that admiral, and then die himself.
I also have to say that people don't put enough respect on Whitebeard's crew.
Nope.
And it makes no sense. They fought Roger's crew as children. And unlike Roger's crew, they never stopped. They never stopped fighting. They never stopped, you know, training type shit. He technically should have the strongest crew.
I mean, maybe the only reason why he doesn't is because of so many commanders. Like, don't get me wrong, I still believe that Marco is stronger than Katakuri. In fact, I still believe that, you know, he would be considered the strongest of the first commanders. I still believe that. Unless you consider Beckman to be a first commander, which we really can't yet because we don't even know if Shanks has divisions. But for right now, well, not divisions, but commanders.
Yeah.
For right now, it definitely seems to me. Well, I would assume that Marco is stronger than King and Katakuri.
Someone in the chat said Marco is trash.
Why?
I mean, they're allowed to think that.
He's the only first commander that, you know, went toe to toe with Admiral so far.
I mean, didn't last chap was it King or Queen? Didn't they get like hurt by like a 12th division person? So
wait, really? Oh, was it Izo?
Izo shot the gun out the sword out.
So going by that logic, Marco definitely has to be way stronger than Kato's first.
Like, to be completely honest with you, yeah, Izo was lower down the ladder as a commander, but he was still a commander. I mean,
I know. I'm just saying by that logic, Marco definitely has to be stronger than like a lot of Kato's guys.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't put him quite on admiral level just because of what he showcased.
I'm talking about like more of like commanders versus commanders.
But because I don't put any of the commanders on the level of admirals unless Beckman is considered one, then he might be the only one that's close. But for me right now, the only members of Yonko crews that can fight admirals and win are the Yonko themselves. You know, but that's not to say that Marco isn't, you know, quite strong. I mean,
well, I'm talking about more of commanders. The commanders.
Yeah,
commanders.
Yeah, in terms of commanders, like I said, I put Marco above all the rest.
I will
Marco
say
definitely
though,
has to be stronger than Queen because Marco's stronger than Izu. So I'm not saying Izu. I'm sorry. Who was it again that Izu had did? Dirty was
what up, guy? Izo shot King.
Okay, so going by that logic, I'm not saying Izu will exactly beat King, but the fact that Izu can do at the King does show that Marco is most likely stronger than King.
I will say this though, King kicked down the Big Mom ship with all of them on it. No name attacks. When Marco did it, he did a name attack though. So
I mean, that's a good point, but it's also true that not all characters have named attacks, like Whitebeard didn't. I mean, it might just be... I'll be honest, though, that was kind of odd to me, seeing Marco perform a named attack post-time skip when he didn't use a single named one at Marineford. I'm like, what? Like,
man,
was he
so
all over the place?
Like, did Oda maybe buff Marco? Like,
Bro,
intend for him to be...
Speaking of buff, why was Crocodile so strong?
Marineford Crocodile's different.
I think it stems back to what Oda said about it being too soon for Luffy to face Crocodile when he did.
Yeah, I think it was way too soon for Crocodile's character.
I think he decided that Crocodile had to be a lot stronger than that.
It's
He definitely
wild
does.
though.
He mastered his Devil Fruit. He has one of the best Logias. He's a beast.
I could say Crocodile could have been awakened at that point. He could turn
Yeah,
everything into sand.
Yeah, that he could have been.
I mean, to be honest, all Crocodile really needs to be a true monster is he doesn't even need armaments. He can just get by with good observation and then just evade attacks for days.
Okay.
That would be dope.
Because I
I
mean,
heard some shit that people they thinking Crocodile's gonna take over Doflamingo's spot as the underground broker.
I could see that. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
That would be nice. I mean, it'd be nice for him to get involved in the freaking story again, to be honest.
Yeah, he's one of
I've seen one panel of him, I think, in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, he has to have a group of people now, not just Daz Bones.
Hope.
I mean, Daz Bones has to be a lot stronger too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Devil Bone is a pretty strong second in command.
Since we talk about people coming back with upgrades, how you guys feel about Rob Lucci? Because, like, I still feel Luffy should be able to beat him without Gear 4.
Oh, no. Luffy can't beat him without Gear 4.
Yeah, why
I mean,
not?
just think about it. Think about it like what we seen. He got one shot by Gear 3rd. He would have died if the boat wasn't there. Now Luffy is so much better at doing shit like that.
I agree, but only because of the fact that Luffy has fought really strong commanders recently, and he also trained this arc. By the time he'd even be ready to fight Lucci, let's think about who he's gone up against in some capacity. Doflamingo, who he defeated while weakened. He beat Cracker obviously with help. He did a good amount of damage to Katakuri. Granted, Katakuri stabbed himself and all that, but he still did damage. And after some training, he's going to be fighting, obviously, with a group against Kaido. That's going to be a massive boost to his strength.
But if you think about it this way, right? Say Luffy right now, right? In this instance, right? Like based off the movies, I know it's not canon, but based off the movies, it's been like Oda has hinted that he gave Rob Lucci a huge power, and Rob Lucci is nowhere near as weak as he was before. As we've seen him going up 1v1 Sabo. So it's been indicated that Rob Lucci is going really strong, and if Luffy needs Gear 4 for ulti, I'm pretty sure he most likely will need Gear 4 for like CP0 like strongest member or second strongest member or a top tier member of CP0.
I think we would also have to assume, given Rob Lucci and his like techniques and stuff, he would have to know Ryu.
Yeah, I think Oda stated in the I'm not sure. I think it was in the SBS or something like Lord Lucci had Haki 3 times.
It's possible.
Man,
yeah,
SBS
I see
or
SBS.
I remember reading that. I was just like, eh.
Like, why did he use it against Luffy?
I mean, that's probably why he was able to. That's probably why he was able to hit Luffy.
He was saying some shit that the Rokushiki is like hockey.
I mean, he kicked Luffy.
If you think about it, like logically, like Rokushiki, what Lucci did, like imploding Luffy's insides, is kind of similar to what we're seeing Ryu is right now, like imploding from the inside. So, I mean, I can see there could be a connection between the.
I can see that being the case, yeah. And people also tend to forget, just because you have hockey, it doesn't mean that you're going to be top tier. There's many levels to hockey. It's the same as with anything else. Like, everybody has their own potential for hockey. And, just because Lucci had a pre-time skip didn't mean that he was, super strong back then compared to, say, the big leagues. It just means that,
Green Lantern's got
so yeah, I could definitely see that. It certainly would explain why he was able to like punch him and even use Shigan on him. I mean, so if Oda wants to go that route, I'm all for it.
Because if you think about it logically, Luffy's insides are technically honorable. So like being able to like hurt him from the inside, you probably need even Haki to do that.
I mean, the inside of him is rubber too, though.
True.
Yeah. So you probably wouldn't need Rokashiki to. I mean, Ryu or Rokashiki to actually like hurt him from the inside. If it was just a normal wave, like Sun Wave, you wouldn't be able to hurt him.
Oh, I just remember some shit. Since you was talking about Haki Bloom earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you feel that Cracker should get one? Because like the way he was one-shotted.
Yes.
Exactly, Haki Bloom should have over him, right?
No.
I think
personally, go ahead, my bad.
I'm gonna let you go because I feel like I've been monopolizing the conversation.
Personally, I didn't know what you guys said because I joined a few minutes ago. But like personally, I don't think like I think when Oda introduced Haki Blooming, it was more mainly for the main characters. Say like say because the Straps are now fairly new to hockey. They learned hockey a few years ago, right? So I think about it as a video game. Say if you're in a video game, right, and your level is still pretty low, when you gain experience, say you get into a fight, right, and you gain, say Luffy gained 500 experience and Cracker gained 500 experience, right? Well, Cracker's hockey was already so high. Cracker was already on level 80, so that 500 experience won't really be much, right? Compared to Luffy's low level of hockey, level 2, where that 500 experience could be like maybe 6 level ups for him because his XP was so low. You kind of get what I'm saying, like a video game?
Yeah, I get you. I just feel like Haki Blooming in general, just like kind of just. Honestly, I think it's like a stupid chick because
it's
pretty much a Zenkai boost.
It's basically a Zenkai boost introduced for the main character.
Yeah, and just it happens mid battle. Like that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because
bro, there's already a problem with that whole Zenkai boost thing that I may not really get into. The whole idea that is like all of a sudden they'll become strong enough and it'll be justified as well because of
like shit's baffling, man. Because by that logic, Katakuri said he never lost a fight. So by that logic, he never got a hockey.
He didn't actually say he never lost a fight, did he? Wasn't it just Brule talking about all that?
He never laid on his back.
Yeah, and he was even saying something like to the effect of, stop talking, Brule. Like, so I don't think he ever lost a fight. I think it's just if he did lose one, it was never known about, or I mean, it just that's inconceivable. Like that, never lost a fight, like ever. I mean,
I think that's a little exaggerated.
I mean, unless nobody ever thought to attack Whole Cake Island, which also doesn't make sense because you'd think the Marines would want to get rid of them one by one over time, but I mean, from how I see it, an admiral should have been able to take down Cracker and Katakuri alone.
Damn.
At the same time?
That's kind of disrespectful. I'm not even going in front.
That's a possibility. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I could see
what do
that.
You mean?
But
Cracker's insane.
But but it depends what admiral you're talking about. If you're talking about Sakazuki or Aokiji, they probably can, but it take a few days for them to do it.
Like, I mean, honestly,
Katakuri right in the front and Cracker in the back is hiding somewhere, bro. This fight could last forever.
Like, if we're talking Kizaru, who outspeeds both of them.
mean, no,
I'm not
why
gonna
would
lie, I like the
Kizaru,
Kizaru hype.
why would Kizaru have ever gotten into contact with the Big Mom
Because
Pirate?
I was a beast.
He's my favorite. Like I don't know why people sleep on
Yeah.
him, honestly.
Yeah, it's the same. Like I don't understand too. Like he's like to me, he's like stronger than Aokiji in my books. But no one wants to give him his due respect. I don't know why.
They
I
don't understand. He's just trolling around. Like, but when he gets
Yeah,
serious,
he strolls around. He's a beast when he gets in.
it's because of that I actually like the idea that Kizaru might secretly have been the strongest of the previous Admiral trio. And I can easily see that being the case. You know, some people might not like that because they think the Fleet Admiral needs to be the strongest, but let's not forget, yes, Garp never accepted the position, but there's no way there's no way anybody can believe that Sengoku, at least in their primes, was inferior to Garp to some degree, strength-wise.
Yeah, definitely. Garp would have whooped Sengoku's ass back in the days. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it would have been easy, obviously, but
they
he
could
probably
be
would
right
have been
on
able
equal
to.
back in the day. But currently, it has to be Garp because Sengoku's just been sitting in the office all day while Garp has just been doing his shit for 20 years straight. You know?
I mean, I could see them being somewhat close, but I don't know. I mean, Garp was going up against the likes of Roger and other big dudes. Sengoku. I mean, even
did fight Whitebeard before.
You know what?
maybe.
You know, I just thought something of how this can explain how come people can be stronger than Mihawk who have swords, but Mihawk is still labeled as the world's strongest swordsman. It could be because of Rio.
That's a cancer debate. I remember having a debate with that with some of my friends. They're like, "What is a swordsman? Is Big Mom a swordsman?" And I was like, "No, Big Mom's not a swordsman. She's just a person who uses a sword if she chooses to."
Yeah.
It's a crazy debate.
I mean, I don't feel it's that hard to understand because, like, we would say Roger, based on what we've seen, he's probably not the best with swordsmanship, but like, he's just so goddamn strong, you're not gonna win it.
But say if you use a sword, are you a swordsman? I don't think so.
I mean, that's like, for example, we could have it like this, right? Like, think about this: a middle school kid, they train at swordsmanship, right? Train swordsmanship for 3 years, and they fight a grown ass man who's like physically stronger than they are, can move quicker and whatever. He's never trained with a sword in his life. That grown ass man is probably kicking their ass, but doesn't mean that he's a better swordsman.
Definitely, yeah. Because I definitely consider Fujitora stronger than Mio.
Really?
It has to be.
Wait. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Fujitora is stronger than Mio.
He is.
Yeah, I personally think he is.
It's possible.
He can control gravity.
I won't say it's impossible.
This is something I never thought I heard.
Wait, why would he not be though?
Yeah, Fujitora is a beast. Like, let's not forget that.
I still put Yonkos over Admirals, and I do believe Mihawk is Yonko level.
I see why you disagree. Then I see.
I don't feel like Fujitora has reached his prime yet. I feel like he's still got room to grow strength-wise. Like,
especially if he just got his fruit.
Like, to me, there's no way that Fujitora is on the level of Akainu, Aokiji, or Kizaru. Does that mean that he's vastly inferior? No. But
no.
I think the difference is like what the difference between Prime Whitebeard and Big Mom and Kaido would have been. Like, they're still very strong, but Whitebeard's just that little bit above, and that's how I view the current admirals. I definitely think Kizaru is the strongest of the new three. Like, I mean, who knows about Green Bull, but I mean, we'll have to find out what the story for Fujitora was to really be able to gauge. I mean, they said he became an admiral via a draft. Does that mean that he was already, well trained in hockey and whatnot before that happened, or like? Like,
Yeah, I think he was well trained in hockey and stuff. Because he blinded himself like a few years before he came an admiral. So like he probably had observation hockey when he blinded himself. So this would have been possible.
true. I'm starting to wonder because I had this. Maybe I can't really call it a theory because there's not really evidence to back it up. But I had this idea that maybe when you become an admiral, as part of your promotion, you're also given a fruit.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case.
I gotta disagree with that because we know all three of the previous admirals were vice admirals with fruits.
Oh, someone said in the chat, Akino's the strongest.
Yeah, definitely.
That is
I
possible.
mean, Oda's hyping him up. I can't argue with that, but
Yeah,
I
Oda
just feel
did say he
Kizaru
was
has a better fruit.
It's Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't really include Akami in the admirals anymore. I just see him as a fleet admiral, clearly above everyone else. So I just exclude him from everything else because he's just obviously stronger than everyone else. I mean, he's stronger than the other admirals that we've proven before.
Yeah, he did seem more impressive at Marineford, no doubt.
Yeah, it looked like he was the alpha there. Like the other two were just complimentary to him, but he was the alpha. He was just like, okay, guys, this is how I'm gonna do it.
I'm now starting to think that the way he didn't get hit by or didn't take damage from the commander's onslaught might have been that he was using future sight to move his magma body out of the way of their attacks.
Yeah, it was advanced observation hockey. Yeah, glad you picked that up. That's definitely what he did. It was, if you look back at the clip, they cut him and you're just like, oh, hockey users, which was very similar to the observation how Kaku used observation hockey. So it was most likely that. I think what I really liked about Marineford, that Oda was legit for foreshadowing this kind of observation hockey and omni hockey with the barrier and everything. So he was already far planned into it. So now we're just seeing what we saw before, which is amazing.
Possibly even with Aokiji, because when he opens up his body like that,
Whitebeard with the no.
That was also like.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that. I mean, I won't go so far as to say something as crazy as all three previous admirals had conquerors, but I mean, honestly, if Oda was to say, "Oh, Kizaru and Akainu both had conquerors," I'm not going to be complaining about that.
I would hope.
Yes.
I think it's weird no Marine showed it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to be honest,
Sengoku has it in the SBS.
Oh,
right.
I don't know why Sengoku has it, but I'm not very high on Sengoku. If you can't tell, I don't really think very high on it. But
I was kind of hoping it'd be Garp that had it. I'm a little bit bummed about that not being true.
Garp does that. Garp does have it.
Well, we don't know. We never seen him do it.
I feel like he makes more sense having it than Sengoku.
Now, when Luffy usually said you inherited too, Luffy.
He could be talking about Dragon.
Yeah, but
I mean, most likely he wasn't. He would have said you inherited from your father.
I mean, who knows? I mean, Big Mom and Katakuri had it in their mother and son, and like maybe the potential to have it is genetic, but the ability to awaken it is dependent on your ambition. Like you can't just be born with this potential. The only real way to gain that power is to have the dream and the will to basically want to get to a certain point in life.
Mm-hmm. But like my view on observation hockey kind of went down. Like King's hockey, because it's just like it's really useless if you think about it. Maybe for Fodder, but like and maybe cool factor, but like battle wise and battle prowess too. It doesn't really indicate anything anymore. So we've seen
I gotta go against that real quick, my guy. I do feel what we seen with Roger and Whitebeard, that class, I do feel that was mixed with Conquerors, like a strong, like that was a attack each other.
You,
But
They
you
had
say
can,
if you
the
had
black
Kung Fu
lightning
Haki,
just
right?
coming off the blades.
But like, say you had Kung Fu Haki, right? How does that make you superior to the person who doesn't, who's just as strong?
We just gotta
um,
wait and see how it's used in the series, because so
it,
far all we got is maybe Shanks to use it to destroy ships. That's so far all we
it,
got.
it might be, it might be a simpler way to look at it might be if armament hockey attacks you physically, then conquerors attacks you spiritually.
So you just give up.
But that's only for weapons, though.
So it's kind of like you're attacking somebody's will. Like you're attacking somebody's will, and by extension, you're not actually directly attacking their hockey, but because it's in some ways tied to will and ambition, you're kind of like whittling away at it. It might take the form of, like, if somebody's using observation, you use your conquerors to kind of screw with their focus a bit, so they can't use it as well with a blast of conquerors.
No, okay. I think all this needs to expand on it a little bit more, show a little bit more of his benefits, and maybe I'll like you go update my list. But like from what I've seen, he doesn't work on like top tier. Say if you're stronger than Frankie, he shouldn't work on you.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta wait and see.
Someone asked, y'all think the Straw Hats will fight the Marines in the end?
Depends on what you mean, but I would say yes.
Honestly, if you ask me, I think they will
Like, do we
fight. I think they will fight. Ashley typed the wrong thing in the chat. But I think they will fight like alongside Dragon Revolutionaries, for a common goal. It could be something to protect the One Piece. I mean, I think that's a very common theory, but I think it's one that's still very likely to happen.
Most likely, the only way the Straw Hats are getting involved is if it's to save Vivi. Like, most likely that'll be most likely that'll be the because for Luffy, it's not just enough for his father to come sailing on by and saying, "You're my son. I need you to help me out with this," because this is what they're doing and whatnot. Luffy's reaction is just going to be, "I don't really care." But if he was to find out, and by the way, Vivi's there, Luffy's gonna be like, "Okay, when do we leave?"
Yeah, Luffy's
Like,
definitely doing anything for his friends. Yeah, that's right.
now maybe you could spin it to where Sabo asks him, and he might feel differently about that because of the fact that he considers Sabo his brother. He might be like, "Okay." Like, for Sabo, yes. For Dragon, no.
Wait. How would Sabo asking if Sabo is dead?
What's up?
Oh, he's making a joke.
Sabo,
he's going by that
no.
Sabo there, theory.
And I personally believe he's dead. Like, no way Sabo's taking on two admirals. Come on.
Wait, what about Sabo?
Sabo's dead, bro. R.I.P.
Oh, dude. If that's... The only way I'm accepting of that is if Luffy gets the Maramara no meat next and just becomes a second person to have more than one fruit.
Apple guys, I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna front. Luffy on fire would be dope.
Like, I don't want to see freaking Burgess's...
Please forgive me for it.
Burgess would not make sense with Ace's fruit. He's a freaking physical fighter. Like,
Yeah, Burgess is fodder, bro. That's like a waste. Come on, don't give fodder on the strong.
Yeah.
But that'd be like
So, yeah.
Don't pull a Monet. Don't waste a really good devil fruit on the
So yeah, Luffy getting aces, I don't care how much it would anger the fan base. We saw freaking Blackbeard get it. Sure, he get more than one. Sure, it's not really explained. But if Oda was to tomorrow come out and say, "Oh well, if you're from the D clan, you can have more than one fruit," and it's just only known by one person so far,
Nah,
I'd be fine with that.
yeah.
And no complaints, as long as either Sanji or Luffy gets it, I'm cool. To be honest.
Dude, Sanji would be perfect with the Maramara no Mi.
He was fire.
Yeah, imagine
Can't
that.
swim then.
Oh my god.
No blue walk.
I mean, he can fly.
If it's stealth black, he still can swim.
What?
Because stealth black has those jetpacking things on his legs.
Oh yeah, you're right. He can technically swim with that.
Well, he wouldn't need to swim. Frankie honestly could just put in a flight mode for that suit, so he could just jet around.
Yeah, because like
No, he already can fly already. Yeah, his boosters already allow him to fly, so he can do it underwater too. So like that ain't really a problem for Stealth Black.
Yeah.
So he's just shooting around like a freaking missile.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Hey, Stealth Black is dangerous, bro.
Sonny's gonna be a superhero at the end of the series.
He really is.
Oh man.
But do y'all see the Monster Trio fighting the Admirals?
Yeah, definitely.
I want them to, but who knows if Oda's actually going to do that?
I mean, honestly, it could be like Kid and Law fighting admirals. I see other supernovas.
Kid, yes. Law, kind of off Law.
Who is Kid fighting?
Like, I mean, the Law's kind of disappointed me because everything that's cool about him comes out of his fruit. Like,
Oh, come on, bro. I mean, that's his weapon, though.
I mean, yeah, it's his weapon, but to see Luffy actually have to use Haki in tandem with his fruit, that's just way more impressive to me.
The fruit, he still had to create them techniques himself. He still had to learn them techniques, and become a doctor. Dude, he had to become they said he had to become like a what was it, surgeon, to use his fruit to the utmost. Like that's pretty impressive.
I mean, sure, but it's still a jail. It's still a get out of jail free card to me.
How hard it is to become a surgeon?
I think there's far more disappointing characters out here than Law. Like one big kid. Come on.
Like I want to see Kid be stronger than Law. I want him to get to that point.
I just want Kid to do something other than Metal Claw.
Useless Kid.
If Katakuri could apply Haki to his mochi arms that weren't attached to his body, then Kid needs to pull out a freaking Punk Gibson with armaments on top of it. Like, that's what we need to see.
Right.
I mean,
Kid needs to redeem himself from losing from Rockstar. That was a disappointing loss.
Like Kid might be one of the most interesting supernovas to me. One of the ones I'm the most interested in learning more about.
Definitely. Even I'm a Kid hater, but I can admit that he's a pretty interesting character. I want to find out more about him. I want to find out what happened when he tried to go up against Shanks. That's what I want to discover. Because Shanks took his arm, but I think he was Rockstar.
Shane's got a new arm now. Shane's got a new arm now.
Man, no one Oda. Lucky Roo just took his chicken bone and cut his arm off with that.
No, most likely Rockstar. It was probably Rockstar.
Imagine we come back to Shanks. Imagine we come out to Shanks. He has two arms. It's like, what happened? He did like some type of surgery. He took Kid's arm.
Nah, if Shanks needed a second arm.
Imagine if it's like that, like whoever Shanks goes up against, he cuts off the left arm to make the play even. He's like, nah, let's begin.
I'd rather Shanks. Go ahead.
What?
Sorry.
Wait, go ahead. No,
you
Cat?
I was gonna say, if Shanks was gonna get a second arm, I'd rather he just ate a devil fruit instead and grew a second arm as part of the fruit's ability. Yeah, well, honestly, I mean, could even be like a regeneration fruit. Like he can regrow limbs, but obviously there's some kind of limitation to it.
Super heal type fruit.
Yeah, basically like Wolverine on steroids.
I'll be hype.
I think I prefer Shanks. I prefer Shanks not having a fruit.
I would prefer it also, but if he was going to get a second arm, it's like, why would you give him a second arm? Like, I mean,
I'd rather him not have a fruit too, but it's kind of weird when you think about it, that people could be on this level. Because, like, his Haki is supposed to be insane, but as we saw, Whitebeard also had that same level of Haki with Roger. So does it
Well,
really
I
make
mean-
that sense that people can't have this level of hockey? The devil fruit user.
I mean, I think it's also about dedication. Like the reason why Kaido and Big Mom might not have been on that up to that point is because they just weren't dedicated to pushing themselves. I mean, because the way I look at hockey is, it's in some ways it's kind of
Willpower.
it's kind of like a metaphor becoming a real thing. Like it's kind of a maybe metaphor is the wrong way to put it. It's like a physical, well, maybe not physical, but for lack of a better term, it's like a physical representation of your will. For those who have unlocked and learned hockey, basically kind of uses your will as like a fuel source. So the way I look at it is, the more ambition you have, which is born from your desires and what your dream is, all of that, combines together to basically determine how much potential you'll have with that.
On
But
some
of course, hockey.
on some Loki chosen one type stuff.
Not chosen one. It's about your personal convictions, like how dedicated you are and how strongly you believe in your desire. Like,
But we've seen we've seen exceptions to that. There's people who just want to crazy observation. I feel like the lady at Fishman Island, you can see the future. And back in Sky Island, who was that other female?
well, yeah, I'm not. What I meant to say is that just determines who the strongest ones are and who they aren't. Like Roger and Whitebeard, to me, part of the reason why they were just so incredibly powerful was because their wills and their determination and convictions were that strong. They were physical monsters outside of that. But hockey is more like a spiritual kind of thing. It's more like a spiritual force that I believe is predicated on how much willpower you have, how much resolve, all that stuff. Like that to me is what determines it.
This real thing does help Shanks in justifying like how he's able to like Rio and potentially other different forms of hockey that we learned does help justify like how people like Shanks like hang with these monsters despite them also having hockey and
Oh, definitely.
Like whether you like this Kinemon thing or not, it is a valued way for characters to potentially maybe not. It is a valued way for characters. Okay, so it kind of does what Naruto kind of lacked at the end, where it was like, oh, if you're born like a certain way, you're just inherently just better than someone. One Piece is kind of trying to keep that whole. Well, it comes down to skill and stuff. Ideas.
It's self-belief. It's self. Like I said, the way I look at it is, it's down to your convictions and how strongly you choose to pursue your goals. Right. That's the way I look at it.
Problem I have with that, there's so many pirates that want to be pirate kings, but are also willing to go that far to be pirate kings. But as we see, like, their hockey's not that good. It's terrible.
Well, maybe that's where the genetic aspect kind of comes into play too. Like it's a twofold type thing. You might have the potential to be as strong as Roger was, but if you don't have the convictions and the desire to get to that point, you're not going to get to that point. And that might have been the way it was with Ace, because Ace at one point didn't want to be Pirate King anymore. He wanted to
understand that a lot of these characters are strong because of the fact that they have had like strong people around them to help them out to get strong. So
That could be part of it too.
Huh?
It could be one of those things where if you have strong people around you, it also boosts you too because of your belief in them.
Kobe was just literally some random scrub kid on the ship. And then he took Garp's training.
That's true. But then again, I don't believe that Kobe's ever going to be equal to Luffy. So that's just me.
Same here. I also share your sentiments on Kobe. He's very, very alive.
Like, I mean, there's no way to prove whether he's right or not. But everything that Mr. Morge has said makes a lot of sense to me, including his video on why Luffy doesn't need a Garp and why Kobe probably won't be that Garp. That made a lot of sense to me.
Definitely.
I mean, Kobe and Garp are just night and day in terms of who they are. Like,
yeah.
What about
there's clear
Smoker?
separations?
What you said, John?
And Smoker to Smoker.
Smoker.
what
I
about
think people
Smoker?
are just trying to make.
Yeah, Smoke.
Yeah,
You wouldn't consider him a parallel?
No,
Nah,
because
I don't think there's none.
Smoker's
Smoker is definitely Garp. Definitely the Garp to Luffy's Roger.
he might have been at one point, but
Yeah, but not anymore. Clear Luffy left him in the dust by now.
I forget. I mean, Morge even went into that too in his video, and he was quite descriptive about every detail that went into that. But I know why people want Smoker to be his Garp because they like him so much and because of their rivalry in the beginning. And I understand that, but I don't think he needs to be Luffy's Garp. Now, that doesn't mean I don't think that Smoker won't become much stronger. Oh, I definitely think he will. I just think he can be really strong without being Luffy's marine foil, if you will. Like...
And, well, go ahead.
And it's also because of the fact that because of the way the story is being told, we're starting to see that, you know, even some of the Marines are starting to question things that are happening behind the scenes. And I feel like Smoker's eventually going to say, Straw Hat's a pirate, but he's done so many good things for people, and I might have to step aside and not fight him because, he's still a criminal, but he's doing a lot of good for the world, too. I mean, a lot more good than the world government when he finally learns all about that stuff. Like, I actually see the Marines kind of splitting up, and a side that composes of Smoker and Fujitora joins temporarily with the revolutionaries and Luffy's side to beat the world government until they can rebuild everything. Like, that's just the way I see it going.
And I think a lot of like Kobe fans also want to give like Kobe extra significance in the story. Like, oh yeah, Luffy's Luffy's up, so don't want to put him up there. Like in strength wise, really right now he's not that strong right now. But people want to boost him and give extra significance to the story. So like, oh yeah, he's this, he's Luffy's parallel. So whatever level Luffy goes, Kobe won't be so far. But in reality, it's night and day between Luffy. Like Kobe right now is not even competition for Luffy right now. He's super.
Yeah,
he's
he's
nowhere
not.
near Luffy.
He's definitely not.
And people gotta be realistic about it. Like I think Luffy doesn't even need a gup and doesn't really have a gup right now.
Maybe at the end of the series, like
no,
Why does
because
he need a gup? He doesn't need a gup.
well, I also disagree with the whole Luffy having a Garp thing because I would be very angry if it was to go that route because that would just make it feel like Luffy was a carbon copy of Roger, which is exactly what happened in Naruto with Naruto, Sasuke, and all them just being reincarnations of already existing characters. I would not like that at all. Now, that said, I had also seen this said once, and it might have been Mr. March. Kobe's goal was never to beat Luffy. He never said, I want to be an admiral and take down the future pirate king. Or, next time he saw him, I'm going to beat you in a fight one day. The only time he mentioned a dream was, I want to be a Marine Admiral one day. That's all he ever said. Like, that doesn't really connect with Luffy's becoming Pirate King and him wanting to fight. I mean, he considers Luffy to be a friend.
Yeah. Speaking of that, that's what Jay Wolf said. He said Kobe may become better than Garp because Garp wasn't friends with Roger. Kobe will be friends with Luffy to make a good rivalry.
I mean, Garp and Roger gotta at least be friends. Give him his kid.
They were friends, bro. You don't use someone your son.
I think what you probably mean by that is, not necessarily that Garp and Roger weren't friends. It's just that Kobe and Luffy are more. I don't want to say tight, but they're not antagonistic at all towards each other. Like, yes, Luffy punched him, but that was only to get him out of the way so he could rescue Ace. Kobe and Luffy are the kinds of people that if they see each other, they're just going to be like, hey, how's it going, man? How's everything? How's everything going over there? Whereas with Garp and Roger, to me, I mean, honestly, I know they were referred to as enemies, but I could have easily seen it just being Garp and Roger saying, hey, Roger, want to go at it? Like, it might have just been
so
them
gay.
just brawling each
really
other
gay.
for the hell of it.
That sounded
What is
so
it?
gay.
And
Well, good thing I'm just saying something that says.
also with that, I think the confusion with that relationship is kind of the personality, especially Garp. He's not really like Luffy or happy and going sometimes. Sometimes he puts more of a serious tone when he shouldn't be. And that kind of makes it look like they weren't really friends and like he wasn't really fond of Roger sometimes, but in reality they really were kind of. I think Garp was most likely one of like Roger's like closest friends or closest like acquaintances. Because he left him with his son. He could have left Ace with Rayleigh, but he chose to leave him with Garp.
I ain't gonna front. We gotta talk about that because that is weird. He leaves his kid to his fucking rival, not his friends.
I've got a few ideas regarding that. Number one, and this is probably going to get me laughed at for saying it, but I think it's possible that Garp and Roger are actually blood related.
Well, they are
that could be a possibility.
Like maybe even being brothers or half brothers or even cousins. Is that ridiculous for me to say that without any evidence? Absolutely.
Absolutely, but is it wrong? No, it's not wrong.
I mean, to be fair about the whole leaving with rival thing, Garp did leave his kids with bandits and expect them not to become pirates. So
that's true.
It was no better.
But the way I also look,
that's like his baby.
I think the real way to look at it is this: Roger probably knew that Rayleigh will always be seen as a pirate and suspected that the Marines would go after him. If he left his son with a pirate, that might potentially become disastrous. Because, I mean, the crew had been disbanded. It would have just been Rayleigh. The Marines might have decided to target Rayleigh because of that, once they would have found out that Ace was Roger's son. But by leaving him with Garp, maybe he was thinking, well, obviously I'd prefer my son to be able to live the way he wants to live, but if him becoming Marine if him going with Garp would protect him, and maybe he'd raise him as a Marine to keep him out of danger, I'd be fine with that so long as my son's life is safe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There's also the possibility, which I had thought of, where Roger even considered the possibility that his son would become a pirate anyway, and might have even said during one of his meetings with Whitebeard, maybe even his last one, hey, I'm a father, I'm leaving my son with Garp, but I'm going to ask you if you can do a favor for me. If my son goes out to sea and becomes a pirate, can you keep your eye on him and take him in, as like he was your own son?
That'd be
That
That's definitely a possibility. Yeah.
I do have to say though, him going under Whitebeard made him weaker. Whitebeard did not train him right at all. Compared to Luffy and Rayleigh, did not train him right at all.
I think that's just because of the fact that there comes a time where we need to separate the fact that Ace was Roger's son. We need to not look at it in terms of, well, he was Roger's son, why wasn't he even remotely close to Roger's strength?
Make no mistake, he was strong. He was worthy of his second division title. But still, at 20, look at Luffy at 19. He should have been way better.
I mean, Luffy's also Luffy.
But Luffy has a bigger drive than Ace did. I mean, Luffy's just...
That's the thing.
Like,
because
okay,
going under Whitebeard
exactly
lowered
the
his
point.
drive.
Luffy's drive is to be Pirate King. Ace's drive is to be under another man.
Yeah, that's what made him weaker.
Yeah.
It's not just as simple as being Pirate King. It's the kind of Pirate King Luffy wanted to be. He wants absolute freedom. And he's always been talking about at the post time skip how he wants to beat all of the Yonko. I've never heard Ace at any point in time, with the exception of saying, "I'm going to take."
You gotta read you gotta read Ace's novel.
I mean, maybe one day.
Only part 1's out right now. I don't know when part 2 is coming out. Because at the end of it, he did say, "I'm gonna, fight the Yonkos." He wanted to start out with Whitebeard first, which
I mean, I don't necessarily consider the novel to be canon. I mean, maybe it is, but I mean, it's also not done by Oda. So,
I mean, they're also gonna make a manga off of it.
I mean, it's neat to see, but I don't know. I understand what you're saying.
At the end of the day, the manga is the most canon thing.
But it's also true that Whitebeard's desire for Ace was he wanted to make him Pirate King.
But he didn't train him right. Problem.
I mean, Whitebeard's also not the type to force his crew to do things, because he really does want to have that father-son relationship with, with the exception of those that are of a similar age to him, who he refers to as brother. He treats his crew like they are his actual children, and like a real parent, he doesn't want to force anything. I mean, he even gave them a choice to go with him to Marineford or not. I mean, he even gave his crew that choice. So, you can tell that he pretty much says, do whatever you want to the members of his crew. And if Ace didn't want to accept his training, he wasn't going to force it on him.
Yeah, why?
Because he was weak too.
I mean, that's probably part of it, yeah. But I mean, it's also true that in the novel, if I'm not mistaken, I heard this, that towards the end of the novel, actually no, that's a spoiler, maybe I shouldn't say it.
I mean, it don't matter.
Towards the end of the novel, apparently he got strong enough to be able to hurt Whitebeard when he couldn't before.
Now, in the first half of the novel, it's in the Grand Line. he just learns armament hockey. He just does it. So
Isn't it that he awakens it via like an emotional response?
yeah, something like that. So maybe I guess he could just. Because as I said, I do believe he's worthy of that second division commander title.
Like, I have no doubt that Ace was more than capable of using it. I mean, we do know that he took on somewhat big named New World pirates. Like, I keep forgetting the name of the guy, but it's that one swordsman we know he fought that had the monkey on his shoulder. Doma, I think his name is.
Who's that?
He's the Whitebeard's Grand Fleet.
The Bohemian Knight, and evidently Whitebeard sent him, I guess, to go deal with him or something. I don't know why Ace was there, but it looked to me as though Ace went to take the whole crew on by himself. So, he's definitely strong. I mean, it's just because Oda hasn't shown us enough regarding those confrontations for Ace that we really can't get a better lock on how strong he might have been.
I had that monkey in Shank's crew ranked so high.
Of course.
Just imagine the monkey pulls out two like dual small pistols and starts shooting them.
It sounds funny, but the monkey has to be strong. Like, logically
could be a zone user for all we know.
The dude has
That's why he's on the guy's shoulder so he can carry him when he swims.
Honestly, that would make a lot of sense.
The dude has a monkey in his crew. The monkey has to do something, like, but
I definitely wouldn't want a monkey sticking its finger in my mouth though.
Whoa.
In that one picture, he's kind of sticking
it in his mouth.
It's sticking. The monkey's sticking his finger in the inside of his cheek and kind of like pulling on it.
So Luffy,
it's like
Luffy's sticking his finger in your mouth.
No, dude, I'm talking about Shanks' crew's monkey.
Yeah, it's crew monkey, dude.
Shanks' monkey. What?
Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Yes, I think Shanks' monkey has to be.
You guys forgot about the monkey, dude? Remember, he started off as normal looking dude with a small monkey. Then the monkey got bigger, and he got bigger and taller too. Remember?
The monkey got bigger.
I'm looking for it. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Not sure how well you'll be able to see this. You might have to zoom in a bit. Alright, where should I post this?
What's in One Piece VC talk?
Alright, VC text chat. Alright.
No, the One Piece VC talk.
Oh, okay. Wait, did I just post something by accident? Okay. Here we go. Not sure how well you'll be able to see the monkey.
I see him.
See it?
Yeah.
See what he's doing? He's kind of like grabbing the guy's mouth in some way.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that scene and I'm like, the hell is going on here? Like, I know monkeys are weird, but no way am I allowing that to happen.
It's a human. It's a human with a monkey.
He brought the monkey to the war, bro. It sounds funny, but the monkey has to be strong in some way.
I mean, unless Oda reveals, oh yeah, that's actually that guy's wife. His wife ate a monkey fruit.
What?
That's so deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his wife ate the monkey. You know me.
Maybe the monkey's like a boo in some ways.
That'd be wild, man. That'd be wild. They had this. Oh man, I did that something weird.
What's that?
Bro, they just like Shanks tells him to wait to go on the ship because he just smashed his monkey wife. Like, dude.
And that dude's just sitting there like, hey, his monkey's doing this to me. Like,
but we've seen more weird people.
Look at the dude. Look at the dude with the
Shark to you?
Look at the dude standing next to Yasab. He almost looks like he's looking at the guy with the monkey on his shoulder with a weird look on his face, like, ugh.
But
God damn.
I think there's a dude. I think there's a dude. I think it was a thing's brother. What's his name? Caribou's brother, who has a chameleon as hair. He's way more weird.
I mean, hey man. I mean, apparently humans and Zoans are together, so who knows what's going on with? I mean, no. I mean, humans and minks are together, so who knows what's going on with humans and Zoans?
Yeah, you never know.
Hey man, the furry community is running wild in the One Piece world. Facts.
Was Lucky Road... What?
Can a sword eat two devil fruits?
I mean, heck, who knows, really?
Only Blackbeard can
Because think about it. You only have the souls originally doesn't have a soul, so like after the second devil fruit, there'll be two souls, like every other human does. So like,
they say you die if you eat two devil fruits, didn't they?
Wait, what?
Didn't they say you die if you eat two devil fruits?
No.
Not a sword.
Can souls have two devil fruits?
Souls?
Like, because I don't think a sword can die.
Oh, swords.
I mean, yeah, a sword.
Sword.
Swords. Sorry, my accent is kind of bad, but yeah, swords.
Oh, huh.
Yo, I gotta go. I gotta get ready for it. I gotta sleep for work.
Alright, peace, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Have a good day.
Tell me anytime y'all want to do this, you know?
I'm always down for one of these.
Same over here.
Alright. So, good night.
Good night, man.
Good night.
Oh, man. I think I'm probably gonna hit the hay soon, too.
No, okay, same. I'll do the same.
If you'll excuse me, that is. So I guess I'll talk to you both tomorrow.
Definitely. If you guys start a stream again, I'll help you.
Like I said, I'm always up for at least a voice chat. So
Same over here.
just if you ever see me on, feel free.
I got you.
No, okay, definitely.
All right, man. I'll see you two later.
Alright, peace.
All right, definitely.
All right.
See you too, guys.
See-
Alright, love you and that man. Peace. Life Strive. Join Discord. You want to join the streams. We don't discriminate. As long as you keep the convo going and be not too disrespectful and such. We'll be chilling in the Discord. Peace, Life Strive. Stay tuned for the next one. Appreciate everybody for watching. Appreciate for everybody for coming through. And yeah, man. Make sure not to be smashing monkeys, because that's some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? We 2020, we progressive, but we ain't that progressive, animals. So, yeah, man. Peace. Peace.